Good evening. Welcome. Sunday Shine Time in prime time. I am your host, Nick. Thank you for being here. We got a fun one for you tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I will be joined in a few minutes by New York Daily News Jets beat writer Antwan Staley. Had him on the show before. This will be his second appearance. Really looking forward to this one. Got some good questions lined up for him. If you got any questions now, get them in super chats, and I promise you, I'll get them on for Antwan. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get this going quick.
It's got me.
Gentry covered in football.
Any day, any night, we all shine, bro. First class shine time, the Nick Shine Show. Anytime on YouTube, if you don't know, the Nick Shine Show, the Nick Shine Show. Dim the lights, but it's still bright as Nick time. Day or night, this is his prime, it's Nick Shine. Proud fan, well defined, to get in line. Toe to toe with any show, he only got 9. The best show on YouTube, bro, is easy. We talk Jets all day, please believe me. Subscribe, you just gotta click a family. We not a click in 3D. You can see a beautiful DP. We see through the fake teams and the tea leaves. So we pray for a coach and a QB and hope that we close to the top in the new league. A toast to the host with the most, Nicky.
Who, me?
Any day, any night, we all shine, bro. First class shine time, the Nick Shine Show. Anytime on YouTube, if you don't know, the Nick Shine Show, the Nick Shine Show.
Fantastic.
Welcome, my friends. It's a shine time. Shine time. It's time to talk about the Jets. Don't you know it's shine time? Shine time. It's shine time. Time to be with my friends. Hey, have you seen my toe?
Welcome again. Thank you for being here. Couple show announcements. For those of you who missed it, we are giving away a Jets jersey tonight after the interview with Antwan. You can still get in it. Any $5 super chats get in. For every $5, you get an entry. Gifted memberships will get you in. Then, what we're going to do, every week on the Sunday show, we're going to give away another jersey. All of your entries throughout the week will count towards the jersey. And we also have, and the jersey, your choice of color, your player, the size, we'll perfect it for you. We'll personalize it and make it great, just like Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are making the Jets great. Again, they make them great. Just we'll take great. We don't know if we've ever been great. We were great for a moment before I was born. I want to be great while I'm alive. And the Jets, too. But here's what we got. This is our big raffle, ladies and gentlemen. Darrelle Revis, full-size, authentic Darrelle Revis Island inscription. I wish I could keep this. But Sunday night, August 31st, Labor Day weekend, we will be giving that one away. Okay? Now, show news for the week. Get all the announcements done. That way people who come back and watch the replays see it right in the beginning. If any big news happens, I'll guarantee a night show. You know that. The morning shows. I'm going to do a morning show this week every day of Jets practice. Okay? It's a big time of year. A lot of stuff going on. I want to be on in the morning. The plan is to be on at 9. If Jake has to cover for Michael K again and he goes on at 9, I'll go on after Jake. But the goal this week is to give you as much Jets content as we can. Camp news at 9 o'clock in the morning is fast and furious. It's a good time to be on. So keep an eye out for that. The late shows depend. So I can guarantee you the morning shows this week, the day the Jets have practice. So even though I'm on tonight, I'll be on tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, and we'll go from there. So in the meantime, just to go over a little bit information again from yesterday. As you know, the New York Jets, very sloppy. Very. Double digits in penalties. Negating first downs multiple times. Tyrod Taylor to Smart looks to be like a nice connection with the second team. Fields caught one up, hit one up the middle to Taylor. Again, Mason Taylor starting to really develop that chemistry with Justin Fields that we're looking for. Defense is always ahead of the offense this time of year. Every team. Offense takes timing, precision, repetition. The defense always starts off ahead of them. So I'm not too upset about that. But it's worth keeping an eye on as we go forward. If you're new here, hit the like button. If you're just subscribing, thank you. Every show, we're growing. We're getting bigger and bigger. We are now at 1559. Trying to get to 1,600 before the season. We're at a very good pace the last couple of weeks. So to all of the new viewers, thank you. Say hello in the chat. Introduce yourselves. If they don't know you, they'll welcome you with open arms. To all of you returning, you're the best. Thank you for being here with me, show after show, week after week, day after day, in this fun thing we call Jets Nation. I appreciate all of it. Oh, yeah, we got more lane blocking people drama. It's always happening. Before the show started, OG Jets fan, our buddy Tommy, with his 8-month member super chat. Nick, Jets fan, Jets, Jets. Have a great show. Thank you, Tommy. And happy Sunday. Let's effing go. 8 wins minimum, 11 max for 2025. I love it. Going to be after playing some great defense to get there. Going to run the ball down their throats. Hopefully that opens up some things in the passing game and we can convert. 99% of the people will do it, Alan. 99. And ladies and gentlemen, there's a man we do not want to piss off. Friendliest guy in the entire world, but I do not want this guy upset. If you're watching, hit the like button. No slacking here on Stacks Watch, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you tuning in, a couple minutes from now, we'll be joined by Antwan Staley. If you got any Jets questions, if you want to fire off a question for Antwan or myself, a super chat's a great way to do it. It gets automatically starred, and I can store it and get it on air for you. And you will also be entered in the Jets jersey giveaway. So far, we got 48 entries for tonight. So we're still taking entries. If you've donated to the channel from Wednesday night on, your name is on this list. Oh, no. Really? Oh, that's a shame. Rest in peace, Lonnie Anderson. Hollywood Squares, she was on a bunch, right? If I'm correct. Oh, that's a shame. Jay Quest. A lot of people have cried in Jay Quest's presence, but he got Aaron Glenn choked up yesterday. Good for you, buddy. It's great seeing everyone. I'm sure we'll talk about that later in the show. But Tom Ace, the big fella, Jay Quest, Nate, Snowball, Johnny, Charles Gorman, Mike D's Nuts, Chef Kevin for hosting. Tremendous event yesterday. Obviously, Jake, it's his event. The little fella, who's a big fella. Just great seeing everyone. John LG was there. A couple other people who I met for the first time who've watched the show. One guy was Van. And the other guy was Jets Forever. Yo Holmes was there. Yeah, it was a good group, man. It's always nice to put the face to somebody's name in the chat. Like if you don't know and you just see the name JQuest57, you probably have like a image of like a psychopath in your head. You'd be right, but in person, like he's a really nice guy. Looks normal. Doesn't even look as crazy as he comes off in the chat. James Thompson, I think this is going to be the minimum. I think you should see him to halftime against Green Bay, and maybe into the second half against the Giants the following week. But yeah, he's got to get the reps. He's got to get familiar with this system. But we'll bring that up in a few moments, ladies and gentlemen. His second appearance on the show. He's taking time out of watching SummerSlam to join us. Although I see his eyes are off to the side, he might not be taking all of his attention off of it. What's up, Antwan? How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
How's the show so far?
But fine. I mean, I didn't watch it last night, but they've had 2 nights of it, so I'm just watching it tonight. But yeah, so far so good.
My nephew's there. My brother-in-law took him, and
Yeah, I
my
don't.
nephew yesterday
I
had the yellow Hulkamania shirt on, and today he's
Okay.
got the SummerSlam shirt with Rhodes and Cena. He's 8. He's all amped up, and he's excited.
Yeah, I thought about going, but I don't like the stadium setup with the way they do it with the big pay-per-views. But that's the way they make money, so I can't
I
knock
know.
it. But I think it's a better view at the house than it is like
Yeah,
in those seats.
yeah. If you're not on the ground, you're watching the video board most of the time anyway,
Correct.
right? Like it's not great viewing, like you said, in person. Uh,
Yeah, absolutely.
but a place that you have a really good seat, that's a good segue, is Jets practice. So
Yeah.
how long have you been covering the Jets? Is Saleh your first? He was your first coach, right?
I came in 22. I came in
Okay,
August, so I've almost be here 3 years. So this will be
okay.
going into my fourth season.
So you've only had Saleh, and now you have Glenn. What's the
Yes.
biggest difference that you see so far between a Robert Saleh and an Aaron Glenn training camp?
Well, I think the practices are just differently. You can just watch them and tell instantly right away. I think and I've said this to other people too. With Aaron Glenn, I think it kind of reminds me. His practices remind me of this when I was covering college football because there's a lot of communication, a lot of just talking and enthusiasm and stuff like that too. So yeah, I think first and foremost that sticks out, and two, like Aaron Glenn also has a whistle. Solid never used the whistle, so there's that, and then I think Aaron Glenn is everywhere. Like he's more like a CEO type of role. Like I think with Sala, he was initially, and then I think the last couple of years, especially last year, he just started to really focus on the offensive side of the ball. I guess because that was the area that was struggling anyway. And obviously Aaron was there, but I think with Glenn, he just liked to have his toe in a lot of different areas and water and stuff like that, and he goes over, checks on the offense, checks on the defense, looks at special teams too as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, he played special teams as a player, so he understands that importance of the ball. So I think those are the major differences that I've noticed thus far.
Okay. Now, in terms of the players, do you notice any difference with the atmosphere or the player morale and their I don't want to say, how they're interacting with everyone? Like, is it like are they rising with Glenn, or are they like kind of hesitant? How do you see the players interacting with media, with one another on the field?
I think they're all in. I think they're buying what Aaron Glenn is selling. I mean, obviously, you're talking about a man that's trying to change the culture of an organization that's, hasn't had a lot of success. Like, I don't necessarily need to tell people that, but,
Yeah,
I think the
we're
players
aware.
are
We're
really bought
aware.
it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't need to really get into that too much, but, I think the players are really bought in and, I think they're saying all the right things. And, I know it's still a honeymoon period there. And, you know, I know Aaron Glenn was very complimentary of the fans of it during the scrimmage on Saturday. But I think the players are just they're really bought in and they definitely want to see this thing turn around. And like I say, I think they're following his lead, especially considering I think Aaron Glenn, the way he came in and just started talking to the players like when he first got the job, I think that really rubbed a lot of people the right way.
Yeah. Uh, how's Muji? I know he's very quiet. I like that, right? He's kind of he doesn't want to be out there and in the
Yeah,
public.
yeah.
But how's Darren Muji? What's his
No, he
demeanor like? What's his daily routine like? If you have any access to that?
I mean, as far as daily, I mean, I see him out there on the field just watching practice from time to time. But he's cool to talk to. Like he's very personable there. Gives you a lot of different information there. Like we spoke to him a few times. Really obviously when he got the job, and then at the owners meeting, and like some other times too as well. But yeah, I mean, he's a guy that's just it's going to be all AG. Like I think everybody just understands that it's going to be Aaron Glenn, like he's the face of the organization at least at the moment, and then Darren Mucci has no problem just kind of sitting in the background and just doing his thing there, making signings and keeping up, making up sure the rosters in the best shape that it can be, and doing his job. But yeah, so far, like I think he's been a pleasure to talk to.
Okay. Now, staying on that note, you guys have had some access to the coordinators with Wilkes, who's a little long in the tooth, and Engstrand, who's his first time as a coordinator. Give me the differences between them and the things that stand out to you with the new coordinators with the Jets.
Well, obviously, Wilkes has a ton of experience, so obviously that's going to stand out too. And yeah, I mean, he's a veteran that's been a defensive coordinator in a lot of different places and systems and things of that nature too. So I think he's just a guy that's not doesn't really say a whole lot, but obviously, I've heard like especially through other people, and then just my interactions and knowledge with people. Like I'm from North Carolina, and obviously I used to cover the Panthers, so obviously I know
Tar Heels.
a little bit about Steve Wilkes there. But yeah, somebody that's just very quiet but doesn't say a whole lot, but somebody that commands the respect from the players. I think Tanner is somebody that's a little bit upbeat. They're obviously more energetic. He's younger, so he's going to be a little bit more energetic too as well, and obviously excited about his first opportunity to be an offensive coordinator. So yeah, I mean, you got two different personalities, but you kind of often see that with offensive and defensive coordinators.
Yeah, something that stands out with Angstrom with me, I I really enjoy listening to him talk. He's very passionate about it. Now, like you said, that's that young, that enthusiasm, right? But
Yeah,
I enjoy listening to him talk. Like I feel like I learned something about him and his approach as a coordinator. And I think to me, without even having him call one game yet, he's got that head coach demeanor to him. Like this looks like a guy who can walk into a room, talk football with people, and win them over immediately. So if he has success on the field, this is definitely a guy that I could see, rising in the ranks and eventually getting a head coaching opportunity, which would be great for us because that means we're being successful if we're getting
right.
our coordinators poached. I think 1989 was the last time the Jets had a coordinator poached to become a head coach. So it's been a
Wow,
while, Antoine. Yeah,
wow.
it's been a while.
Yeah, that is. I didn't know that. Like, yeah, that's wild. It's been that long, especially consider. I mean, they've had successful teams there. I mean, I know it's been pockets, but it's obviously it's been a while. But even like the late 90s, like 2000, I feel like they had a lot of success under Herm Edwards. So I can't believe it's been that long since they've had one of those the coaching
Yeah,
hires from on their
it's
own
been a while.
staff.
uh, all right, next question. Which player has stood out to you the most and surprised you with like the guy that you're like, wow, he's making another play. He's making a name for himself.
I mean, I could go a lot of different places there, but I mean, I'll start with Will McDonald. I think he's obviously a lot bigger than what he was. I think he has the power, like not in addition to the speed, but also just using his power game. And I was a one play. I think last week, like he just pretty much flattened Membu and just put him on his butt. And then that was kind of like, whoa, like because Membu's a big guy too as well. So the fact that he did that, and the way that he's been playing and training camp, I think has been really impressive too. I mean, Garrett's been really good. I think just the offensive line. I think Olu Fashion has been also been really good and solid too as well. I don't like I said again, like I don't know if it's one player, but I think it's several players that kind of stood out. Sauce Gardner's been playing really well too as well. Always around the ball and looking like he could possibly have a bit of a bounce back year. Although I didn't think he had that bad of a year. I just thought it was just his first 2 years were just so good that it kind of dropped off a little bit last year, but that's to be expected. I mean, he came out with like two all pro teams, first team and Pro Bowl and everything like that. And, last year was just kind of a, I guess, just a snowball effect, really.
Yeah,
Just a big cluster, I guess you could call it there. So, yeah, but
yeah,
those are kind of the guys that come to mind that just kind of stood out.
yeah. If it's a bad year when you give up one passing touchdown, I'll take that bad year after year. I think fans have to keep things in perspective. Also, we're not really used to having nice things. So when we do get that one nice thing, we want it to be perfect, right? And then we as Jets fans, we're always used to the negative happening, and we'll find a flaw or even create one if there's not there. Just that, Jets fans, There's drama over
Yeah,
everything. Even
I
your
know
tweet today,
definitely.
there's drama for no reason.
Yeah, that was actually yesterday. Like I sent that out yesterday, and then all of a sudden, I guess people, I don't know if they got in the Reddit chat rooms or whatever the case may be, but I guess people started responding to it today, and I'm just trying to relax. Like I ain't even trying to like I ain't trying to mess with you. Like I didn't think it was just too like out of pocket, but I guess some people just, I guess they just, they want the expectations. They were happy about the last 2 years where you come in and have an opportunity. Well, you think you have an opportunity to get to a Super Bowl. Obviously, it didn't happen, but I think a lot of fans want those type of high expectations. But you got to give Aaron Glenn and this regime some time. Like I'm not saying I'm not saying that the team should feel this way. I'm just saying the fans like to feel this way. Just give them some time to get the team on the field and that they want to put in place because it took the Lions like a couple of years to get everything straight too. I mean, they went from 3 wins to 9 wins this their second season with Dan Campbell, and went from 9 to 12 this third year. So yeah, it takes time to get your program in place, especially when you got a very undisciplined team still in place too, which we detailed in during the scrimmage on Saturday.
Yeah. Uh, I thought Aaron Glenn handled that really well yesterday. You know, as I'm doing a show here and all the tweets are coming in from you guys, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is not good. We're getting reports from a lot of members of the chat who were there saying how sloppy it was. But I'm the type of person who I can find a positive in anything. And you gotta expose the flaw so you can fix it, right? Like if you have a leak, you need to know where the leak's coming from so you can patch it up. Uh,
Yeah,
it's his first time with the team really in that environment, and the penalties getting called time and time again. Now they can coach it. They got 5 weeks to the opener, right? They can coach it. Is
yeah.
it technique? Are you out of position? Are you reading it wrong? All of these things they can address and hopefully apply to the field to allow the players to improve. Because this leads me to my next question. With Justin Fields as a passer, we don't want third and 12s. We don't want third and 17s. We saw a lot of those yesterday. Brees would get a run, be 2nd and 1. He'd convert, holding play, go back to 2nd and 11. Sacked by Will McDonald, 3rd and 17. Glenn pulls them off the field. Like, we got to be efficient. We can't have self-inflicted injuries and penalties with this team because a lot of us don't believe we have the ability to overcome it. Now, it's a two-tier question. Give me your thoughts on what you see so far with Justin Fields from the pocket and also as a new quarterback to the team as a leader.
I think it's been days where he's been really good. I think it was on Friday. I want to say he was really good, but they weren't in pads, so that was like his best practice of training camp. I would say. I think he was really decisive there, getting the ball out relatively pretty quickly there, and also using his legs too as well. But when it comes to him being in the pads, like it's been a lot to be desired. I mean, he struggled, on Saturday, and then even before that, early on in the week too, as well. After he came back, struggled then too as well. So I think the offensive passing game, and that's not all his fault. I think a lot of it, the offensive line hasn't necessarily performed up to par. Sometimes there's been, the lack of separation from wide receivers outside of Garrett Wilson too as well. So it's a lot, and then also they hadn't always. Sometimes they've been able to run the football well, but it's been times where they haven't. So it's not just all Justin Fields, but he also has held the ball too long at times, which we saw. Whether you get Chicago or also Pittsburgh, he tended to do that too. So I mean, he's still working on some things too. I asked Aaron Glenn about him yesterday. And he basically said, yeah, it was some throws that he probably should have made there, and I'm sure he knows that too as well. Look, I mean, Justin Fields is who he is. He's never probably going to be the most accurate quarterback in the NFL, but you just hope that, as to your point, you can get in, third and manageable, short and intermediate situations as opposed to like 3rd and 10 or beyond. Because in that case, yeah, you're kind of, it's kind of dire situation. It would be in that case for the Jets if they, get in those long third and long situations, especially with this offense, the way that it's struggled, in the passing game so far.
Okay. Let's stay in the quarterback room. Who and will the Jets keep QB3? Who will that be if they do?
Well, I think they'll keep two on the roster. Now they'll have somebody in practice squad, which right now I imagine to be Adrian Martinez. But I think they're going to keep two quarterbacks. Like I don't see them. I don't think it's, you got a veteran in Tyrod Taylor there. You got Justin Fields, who's played, has some snaps too as well. So, yeah, I don't see why they would keep three quarterbacks on the roster. But yeah, I think Adrian Martinez would be, in that case, would be the next man up.
Okay. Gonna do a little bit of a speed round here with you. I'm gonna throw some players at you. Give me your first thoughts and things that pop into your head of what you've seen so far with them in camp.
Okay.
Braylon Allen.
Big, forceful, like, has been a stud. Like, he's had a really good camp too as well. Outside, obviously, he had the knee soreness too as well. But outside of that, I think he's been efficient and been running the ball really well. And I think he's going to have a big role in that offense too as well. And you might see him and Brees Hall on the field at the same time, which I think also would be interesting dynamic too as well.
I've been screaming for that. Fields and shotgun with Hall and Allen on one side. You shift one of them out in motion, and then you hit an RPO because Hall's going to be probably our second leading pass receiver. So you want him.
Either him or Mason Taylor, I would say.
That's a good one. That's my next name, Mason Taylor. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to have a tremendous year. I mean, he just rapport and chemistry with Justin Fields, like you kind of noticing that throughout the training camp. I think he's going to be a guy that can move the chains there. If you need 10 yards, he's a guy that can get you 10 or 11 yards consistently. And they talked about his blocking too as well. So yeah, I think he's going to play a really big role for them this year.
Okay. Now, Jamie and Sherwood.
He's been solid. Like, I think I've been impressed with him. Not, obviously, tackling has been, what it be expected, but the coverage skills too. I remember it was one particular play training camp. He was, following Garrett Wilson on a pass play, and shadowed him really well. So, I mean, he did play. He is a former safety, so you can really cover because you have to in that position. But yeah, I was really impressed by just his coverage skills there. So yeah, I mean. Yeah, I think he's going to be him and Quincy. I think going to be really solid.
Now he's very quiet, and Wilkes mentioned the other day that he tries to joke with him on the field, and then he doesn't. He's got laser focus. He's got tunnel vision on his goals. Do you see him stepping up into that captain role possibly this year as the middle linebacker and the the caller of the defense? You
Well, he
think he
has
gets
to.
a C on the chest?
Well, he has to now. I mean, I don't know if he'll be a captain. Like, I mean, that'd be their decision. But as far as them, calling the plays, I think, he did a lot of that last year, especially when CJ Mosley was out. So yeah, I mean, they definitely need him. I mean, and then they've invested a lot of money in him, and there's no guarantee, Quincy's going to turn back after the 25 season. So yeah, this is going to be on him. So I imagine he definitely he understands that. He knows that he comes with the responsibility of getting paid, and I think you're starting to see, and we talked about that with him. We're starting to see a little bit of that, him being a little bit more assertive as a leader.
Okay. We got 69 of you watching right now. We're here with Antwan Staley from the New York Daily News. Make sure you hit the like button. In the description, if you're not already, I posted the link for Antwan's X account. Make sure you follow him, sign up for alerts. He's got a lot of great info coming out and insight. So make sure you follow him. We are doing a jersey raffle at the completion of this video. Any super chats will go towards that. You're in. We got one from Julian here. Going to the season opener. How much is this first game going to dictate the season for us, or is it getting the rust off of type of game? You want to take that?
I mean, I don't know if it dictate the whole entire season because I mean they got some tough games after that too. But I think it'll be a good taste in people's mouth, especially Jet fans' mouth, if they can, not only win their opener and get off to a really good start in the Aaron Glenn area, but also beat the guy that used to be the quarterback of the Jets too. And it's been obviously a lot of talk about the Steelers. Some people are saying like they could be a sneaky team. I mean, I don't necessarily see it. I do think they're probably a playoff team or like a team that's on that cusp of being a playoff team. But yeah, if you can get off to a good start there, especially going into Buffalo 1-0, I think that'd be really good because yeah, you don't want to go in that Buffalo situation like game week 2 needing to win desperately because then you're on the road for the next 2 weeks at Tampa and then Miami. And then, I don't know if, I'm not sold that they're going to win either one of those games either. They may. I mean, the Dolphins have kind of been decimated by injuries in the secondary. So, there's an opportunity there. But yeah, we know their history in playing in Florida and, it's going to be hot as hell that time of the year. So, yeah, you definitely want to make sure you can get a win early on because, yeah, you don't want this to kind of spiral out of control. And you also want the fans to be excited about something. So I think it's important for them to definitely get off to a really good start.
Agreed. Thank you, Julian, for the super chat. And I updated. You got 2 more entries on the jersey giveaway going on after this interview. I got 2 more names for you. Malachi Moore.
He's been making some plays out there too, so I've been really impressed with him as well. So yeah, I mean, I definitely think he's gonna play a little bit this year. So yeah, I definitely been impressed by him thus far in camp.
Okay. Does he crack the starting lineup?
I probably would say no at this point, but at least initially. But
Okay.
that, it could be a potential like down the line. But I need to see him in preseason games before I do officially say that. But probably not at this point. But you never know. Like I do think he's going to get some playing time for sure.
Okay. Last, this is a guy that showed a little bit of promise last year. He didn't play a lot, but the Jets went out and they drafted a guy and signed a guy at his same position. Give me your thoughts on Quantez Stiggers. I know Coach Glenn mentioned him the other day, but what have you seen so far, and what's his role on this roster?
Well, that was my question. So like, yeah, I thought he's been playing really well. So yeah, I actually said that to Glenn, and he agreed with me. So I mean, I think he's a guy that he's going to make their decisions really tough because I think they have a quarterback room where a lot of these guys could be on an NFL roster somewhere. But obviously, with the Jets, not everybody can make the team. So, but I think he's a guy that they're definitely interested in keeping. But yeah, I don't know how much playing time he'll get, especially when you got Michael Carter and obviously Sauls, Brendan Stevens, and then Az Thomas. But they do like his the way he's been developing, the way he's been playing. So yeah, I think he's definitely gonna make the roster. It's just a matter of like what that looks like exactly. But they got some tough decisions, definitely in that secondary room, in particular quarterback, coming up in 3 weeks or so.
Does he fill that Irv Charles role on special teams?
I don't. Uh, I don't know. Like, I don't know if anybody can necessarily feel exactly what Irv brought to the table too, but
Yeah.
he might be somebody that you can put out there and then definitely produce there. But possibly yes, possibly. But yeah, they probably if he's going to be on the team, like they probably definitely need him on special teams for sure.
All right. Uh, who's tackle three? Offensive
Uh,
tackle three.
Offensive, like which side?
Well, I mean, if one of these guys goes down, has
Or
to
you
miss
just mean like
time,
the
what? Yeah,
swing?
who
Like
do you
who's
think
the
is
swing
tackle
guy?
three?
I mean, I think we're still trying to figure that out too. I mean, I think we still got some guys like Matt Mitchell's still on the team too as well. So, he could be a guy that I think could fit in. Like he's played both sides. So like that's a possibility. I'll probably say him at the moment, but I think that spot is still to be determined at the moment.
Okay. And who ends up being defensive end three?
I'm not sure who's gonna be defensive end too. I mean defensive end or defensive tackle.
End.
Oh, defensive end. I would say Michael Clemens is definitely going to be. I mean, Clemens has been with Jermaine Johnson, still on the pup list. Like he's been the guy that's been, kind of taking that role over. So yeah, I think right now it's going to be Clemens.
75 people collectively just rolled their eyes simultaneously.
Look, I'm just
not,
telling
not
you like
you,
what
but
I'm
we just
saying. Yeah,
a lot of us don't see any production, and we don't know how he keeps staying.
I'll
I don't
say
want to
this
give that to
like
you, but
I'll say this, like I think he's made some plays out of training camp. Like he had a sack on Justin Fields the other day too, as well. Made some plays in the running game. He's actually lost a lot of weight. Like he's not as bulky as he used
okay,
to be because you have to remember Salah and the previous regime asked him to get bulky because he could play both in the inside and also on the outside. But yeah, he's looks more like a defensive end now as opposed to just
okay.
more of a defensive tackle. So that might help him a little bit too. Or it seems like it has so far.
All right. We got Black Gypsy 420. I want Shields to rush for 100 yards per game. Do y'all think that's possible? 100 yards, like
So 100 yards per
17.
game. So that would be 17. So that would be, yeah, he would have to rush for 1,700 yards in the season. Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, he plays 17 games. I think he can push 1,000. I think he can get 57 a game. Right? It's like 57 and change a game to get 1,000. So I think he can break some runs and do RPOs. We do 8 carries a game. He's going to break one for 20, 30 yards. So the yards are going to add up
Possibly,
if
yeah.
he's consistently running it and he plays every game. But Gypsy is as much as I love Madden, that won't in Madden that might happen, but not in real life.
Yeah, for 1,700 yards, like yeah, that'd be that. I mean, that would be the record for the most quarterback
Yeah,
yards of the season. I mean, he's already one of three quarterbacks that's rushed for 1,000. So like, I could definitely see him flirting with that.
nice. Uh, all right, I know you committed for like 20 minutes. I want to thank you for coming
But,
on.
but
I
thanks for having me
appreciate you.
on.
Yeah, man, anytime. And I love interacting with you on social media and chiming in wherever I can in my unique way to maybe say the shit to people that you can't say at times.
I mean, I could, but I just I try not to get
Not
into it.
worth
I'm
it.
just like whatever. Yeah, just like whatever.
I come in,
So
I throw my dart, I'll disappear.
yeah, I'm just chilling. Like yeah, people can be mad or whatever. Like just like whatever. It's I don't even think about it. I know how Jets fans are by now, so it doesn't really bother me.
Absolutely. Well, Antoine, thank you for your time. Thank you for your great work. I appreciate reading all that you do, your tweets, your articles. You're the man.
All right, thanks for having me, and I'll see you soon. I'm sure.
All right, definitely. Take care, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Antwan Staley, New York Daily News. If you're just tuning in, his X account is in the is in the feed for the show, the description for the show. Couple comments to get to. Jets Worldwide. I missed this. I'm sorry. Uh, I'm sure many people did. You guys were very loud and boisterous yesterday, so I wasn't even there, and I got teary eyed when I heard Aaron Glenn make mention of it. Let's see what else we have. Ricky. Ricky says Nick Belichick took both Romeo and Weiss from us. Yes, but the stat from 1989, Ricky, is we haven't had a coordinator poached to become a head coach. Weiss and Crennel did not go, and Belichick was a lateral move as head coach. Black Gypsy, let me add you to the raffle. Ladies and gentlemen, last call. Super chats, gifted memberships. We're doing a jersey raffle in a few minutes. I'll give you guys about 5 minutes left, and then we'll raffle it away. Let's see if you guys got any questions. I didn't get to. I'm trying to scan. I'm trying to stay fully engaged. And Black Gypsy getting another entry. Thank you, sir. And your membership went to King of Kings 92. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you, man. And good luck to you. Now, whoever wins the jersey, let me know the size, the color, and the player. You can also get it personalized. Let's see what we got. For members of the Discord, this is your night to shine, pun intended. What we're going to do first, the call-in link is posted in the lobby of the Discord. For those of you wondering, if you're a paying member of the channel, you get access to the Discord. Instructions are on the bottom of the screen. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're getting hot. First up, Eli Betts gifted a membership that went to Brian Farrell. Eli, let me add you. That's your 11th chance tonight. Good luck to you, sir. And what is a raffle without Rick Kent? Rick Kent is in for 5. Rick Kent's 5 went to Lonely Satellite, Ralphie Fox, Anthony, Tony Alvarado, and Chad Miner. Rick Kent, thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Rick Kent's Will McDonald jersey or mini helmet is on the way. It didn't get there yet, did it, Rick? I sent it, I think, Tuesday or Wednesday. I forget what day I sent it out, but I know you're good with letting me know when you receive it. Let me put Rick in. Again, all these entries that you guys get tonight are still going to be a part of the monthly raffle at the end of the month, August 31st. Darrell Revis, Revis Island, full size, authentic helmet. I don't know if it has a case with it. I think it's just a helmet, but that's a hell of an item to have and add to your Jets collection. Rick Kent, I can type your name in my sleep with the amount of times I enter Rick Kent. I got a beautiful rhythm to it. Thank you, sir, and good luck to you. Ladies and gentlemen, International Persuasion. Boomtown is in the raffle. Boomtown, your gifted membership went to Phantom Green and White. I almost said Phenom out of habit seeing Phenom's name. No, it didn't get there yet. Okay. Yeah, I pay for the ground. So it takes like 5 days or so to get there for you, but just text me like you normally do. I don't have shelves. Well, Rick Kent, if you win, I'll send you a shelf to add a new shelf to the room. You're going to need to blow out a wall with all the memorabilia that you win, man. You're awesome, dude. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, last call. Let's save this. Share screen. We'll get this going. Members of the Discord, the call-in link is posted in the lobby. If you want to call in, you haven't called in a while. Let's talk Jets. Fire off some takes, questions, your thoughts, your theories, whatever. Where are we? We are here. All right, we're going to put you on. All right, remove you for now. Boom, go back to here. Boom, 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 and we're good. All right. All right. Couple seconds left. We'll see if anything else pops in. What we're going to do here. All right. We will shut it down in a couple seconds. We are going to shuffle this. We'll go 5 times because I saw Rick Kent gifted 5 and it's still up on the screen. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Last call. 3, 2, 1. Let's see who wins. We got Eli. Congrats, Eli. Eli, I'm going to give you my email in the chat right now. Shoot me an email with the color jersey you want. Green, white, or black. The size. You can get kid size too if you got a kid and you want to get your child a jersey. That's fine. The player or the name and the number. You can get it personalized. Your call, my friend. And right after it went off, we got OG Jets fan Tommy. His membership went to Taylor Sterling. Well, Tommy, you're in the lead. Next week's show on Sunday night, we're going to give away a jersey. So you'll just carry over to that. You'll start that one. And right after you, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Tattoos becoming a member of the channel on his own. Kevin, that will also get you a raffle for signing up. Yes, Eli, you won. Congratulations, my friend. I posted my email in there, a couple comments up. I think I did, right? Where'd it go? It's Proud NYJF. I used to be Proud NYJet fan. Shoot me an email there at Gmail and give me your info, my friend. Congratulations, man, and thank you for all your contributions and to everybody. Like I said, I wish you could all win. What am I missing? Who's in the hospital, Clancy? What am I missing in the chat? Kevin Tattoos gifted 5 memberships. They went to Christian Bainbridge, Stephen NYC, Rob Basil, Thomas Rosty, and Mr. McMoney. Awesome. Thank you, Kevin. Kevin wants the Revis helmet. Kevin is dying for that Revis helmet. Mike D's nuts. Oh, fuck. All right, I'll shoot him a message. Yeah, we go to the shit. All right. Thank you for the update, everybody. Prayers to Mike. All right. I'm gonna be back in 1 minute. Let's play let's throw out a little more Blitz BK. Anywhere, anytime throwdown. You're watching the Nick Shine Show. Hit the like button. I'll be right back.
Good evening, everyone. Normally, this is the part where I go into a monologue about the Jets. I got to address something first. There's been some shit talk out there about this program. Don't talk shit about my family. They're my family.
And this just in, you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Get ready for this new showdown. I call it the anytime, any day throwdown. Nick Shine, kill these clowns till they make no sound. They lose weight, we feel great when we burn these pounds. We all know that jet green make the earth go round. Another rookie head coach, another first go round. We bleed green, each fiend's on this team win now. And twist dreams in the DP where my beats are found. Shiners unite, knock the lights out of midnight. We go show for show, goon for goon. We can fist fight, I rip mics. Clemens and Williams, all the dislikes. Bunch of Jets rappers out there, they ain't this nice. I did this twice. Got a sick addiction, so the green and white's my vice. I gave it blood, sweat, and tears. Yeah, I paid my price. Many years on this flight, no prescription, but I need a championship in my life, yo.
For as long as I'm alive, I got your back because you always had mine. And I fucking love you guys for that. So, keep coming back. It's a fun place to be. We don't turn people away. We don't talk down to people. Maybe read to people, but that he deserves it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, fire off your Jets questions. I will drop the link. Just got to deal with something here at the house real quick. And that video was not long enough. Call and link is there. You got questions, Jets takes, fire it in, and I'll be right back. Hopefully before the end of this video, but stand by.
How's it going, guys?
Is this your masturbation uniform?
Oh, stop it!
He's Charles. I come here today bearing gifts. Not from me, from Knobcraft. Knobcraft has sent you many gifts. I don't know what they are.
It's drink Cheerwine soda. Now you
gotta put it on. Hold on. Don't get ahead of yourself. We gotta go one gift at a time. Go to camera, please. Smile.
pork grains with milk grain. Nutrition facts: 3.5 serving size, 2 ounces.
It's only 375% of your cholesterol intake for today. Material.
I think it's Hebrew or something.
It's not Hebrew. It's probably Hindi, and it says New York Jets in Hindi.
That's very interesting. Very interesting. I like that.
Here we go. Let's get you in your uniform. Hold on.
Oh my God.
What are these?
Large size condoms. The thinnest Magnum condom. So I got
That's going to be my screensaver.
And I got dots. I love me some dots, man. They're one of my favorite candies since childhood. Fortunately, the only negative I can say, they get stuck to your teeth sometimes.
They do.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with the great Charles Gorman. Charles, you received a Show Me Your Butthole hat, a New York Jets shirt written in Hindi, considering the neighborhood that you live in. You received 2 boxes of dots, a pork brains, 2 Cheerwine sodas, and a box of Magnum Raw large-sized condoms, the thinnest Magnum condom lubricated for contraception plus STI protection. Charles, what are your thoughts on this gift package that you've just gotten from the great Knobcraft?
Well, thank you, Knobcraft, for the gifts, especially with some of the food, but the condoms. You guys really want me to lose that virginity, huh? Well,
You want to lose your virginity?
I do, to the right woman.
Man, so you're the right woman? She didn't respond. I tried, Charles.
Probably my favorite gift outside of the dots and the soda is this shirt with the Hindi on it.
What's it say?
New York Jets in Hindi.
New York Jets in Hindi. Absolutely 100%.
Sorry if my emotions get the better of me sometimes. I can be a unique individual when it comes to that shit.
I say fuckhead, but unique individual also works. Well, Charles, you're a good man. People want the best for you. Now you go get the best for yourself. Go get a job. Nikki, thoughts on the gift package for Charles?
I like them all.
Nikki, man of many words. Also, having a good time at the Lil Wayne concert tonight at the PNC Arts Center. Where is he? Oh, he's close. He got close to the stage. Let's see his location. Give me a second. I do my dad duty. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Jets questions. What do we got? Call lines are open. Nobody called in. If you want to talk Jets, lines are open. Yeah, we met South End Auto Detailing. He was there with his girlfriend. Mike and his wife were there. Again, prayers to Mike. Trying to see if you guys dropped any questions. What's up, Pat? Rich? Oh, that's funny. You said Lil Buddy and Lil Wayne. Let's see what we can do. Twisted. 8 o'clock on Sundays, man. It's been like that for months. I know you take your hiatus in the off season, but Sunday nights, 8 o'clock. I only mentioned it 40 times this week. I know you're an old man, Twisted. You might have to get a little Post-it and put it by the TV or something, buddy. All right. So while I'm waiting for you guys to fire off some questions, I will keep my eye out for them. I'll tag them to make sure we get them on. Let's get into the next subject on tonight's show. Projecting the top 5 pass catchers for the Jets this upcoming season. Number 1 is easy. Every single one of us will have Garrett Wilson as our number 1 pass catcher. I don't think anybody thinks anyone will become even close. If he's healthy, plays all 17 games, he might double up the next guy. Maybe not. Maybe 100 to like 75 for the guy number 2. Brees Hall. I know Antwan earlier mentioned Mason Taylor. I can't see Mason Taylor getting that many catches. Do I want that? Sure. But I'm going to come in around 75 catches for Brees Hall. You saw Justin Fields with a great read the other day out of the backfield. Brees slips out. They blitz both linebackers. He swings it to him. He beats the coverage to the corner, to the pylon for a touchdown. That's what you want. You want to have Brees sprinting out against the linebacker or a safety who can't get up in time. Get the ball out quickly into his hands and let him do what he does best. Get yak. Very, very simple. Some teams will keep a running back in the block. That's why I like the Braylon Allen Brees. If they're showing blitz, you can motion one of them back into the backfield if they're out wide have one of them pick up a blitzer, and then have Brees just sprint out to the side. Not many guys are going to be able to cover him. Third on the team, I'll go with Mason Taylor. Now, if Mason Taylor, I think he'll start off maybe averaging a couple catches a game, 2 or 3. But by year end, I think he could be about 4 or 5. So we'll average it out. And I think he ends up, let's go with 55. 55 is a really good number for a rookie tight end. And if it's a rookie tight end who has maybe 1 catch in the opener, 2 catches, and then you start to see a 3, a 6, a 4, a 5. That's what you want. You want to watch him get more consistent and more involved as the season goes on. Now, I've spoken in great length about Justin Fields and his chemistry with Cole Kmet when he was in Chicago. Loved going to Cole Kmet. Kmet had back-to-back seasons with over 70 catches, but it was year 2 and 3 that he had those numbers, not the rookie year. So I think that's something to keep an eye on, is utilization of Taylor, where they're getting him the ball, how they're getting him the ball. Are they getting him the ball in space where he can catch and run and get yak? That's a big thing in this Detroit offense. This Detroit passing attack that Engstrand's bringing here is a lot of catch and run. Now, when you have a guy like they had St. Brown over there, we have Garrett here, you're going to see somebody who probably has a lot of catch and tackle. Garrett will go down. He's not going to fight for the extra yards to take the big blow-up hit by a safety or a linebacker on an in route. But everyone else, it's going to be in a position to catch and run. Go watch, David D, Patty Grimes, our Detroit Lions fans who are always here, can tell you there's a lot of opportunity to catch the ball and run in this scheme. So even though he's a rookie, and I don't project a massive year because I don't project very big passing numbers with this offense. I think we will be in the bottom 12 of the league in overall passing yardage. I think when you look at Taylor, an evolution throughout year 1 is what you want to see. A progression, a steady climb uphill, getting better week after week. And that would be a really good rookie season for someone who I think will be 3rd in receptions on our team. Now, number 4, you could throw out many names. You could throw out Reynolds. You put Lazard. I'm going to go with Braylon Allen at 4 because I think you're going to see a lot of strategy in this offense is going to be using guys like Arian Smith, Josh Reynolds, Lazard to maybe get downfield, and Fields taking the safe throws, moving the chains, dumping it off. So I think the running backs are going to have a really big role in this offense with Fields running it. Now, if Fields were to miss some time, you're going to probably see the ball going downfield more with Taylor because he's more experienced and he's a little more ballsy. Fields might have to play with a little bit of caution because even though he's being told it's his job, let's be realistic. Justin Fields hasn't done enough in this league to solidify the quarterback role and to take those chances knowing he'll be quarterback week after week after week. Is he told that where he can kind of play loose and maybe let it rip and not be hesitant? Possibly. But I think in the beginning, you're going to see him kind of dipping his toes in the water a little bit and not just letting it rip downfield, taking his chances when they're there in rollout plays and in bootleg situations. Now, 5th, I'm going to go with Josh Reynolds. I think Josh Reynolds is clearly wide receiver 2. I don't see anybody surpassing him in that role. Lazard will be a big 3. He'll be checked inside to maybe block more and help out with the run game on stretch and tosses. I don't see Lazard. I see Mason Taylor about 55. I see Reynolds, Lazard, Allen in the 40s. I see Allen about 45, and then I'll see Reynolds and Lazard right beneath that at 5 and 6 on this list. So I'll put Reynolds at 43, and I'll put Lazard at 40. And I think you're going to see other guys mixed in, not big numbers. Davis will have a catch or a screen every here and there. Ruckert and Smart will probably both be under 30 catches for the year. But I think you're going to see a mix. I think you're going to see the scheme be the star after Garrett and Brees, and not guys making the scheme. It's going to be, who do we swing open on this play? How do we get the ball into space here? It's not going to be a guy just standing back in shotgun, reading it, waiting to rip the defense apart. Could we get there? I doubt it. But it's something worth keeping an eye on. I see you in the back. Let me get to a couple questions that popped up, and then you're up. Eli says, what are we going to do about the depth at defensive line? Oh, is that a tease on which jersey you want? You're going defensive line? Ooh, stay tuned. I think defensive line at tackle, you got Quinnen, you got Cowart. Rich Samini didn't have Nadi making the team. You got Tefele and you got Taylor. And then let's not forget, not Papa, the kid from Clemson who's standing out. I can't think of his last name right now. I know it's something with a P. I see you throwing your hands up. What's his name, Ricky? You're muted. Page. Thank you. Stand by. I'll get right back. I saw you throw your hands up at it, so I brought you on. Give me 2 minutes. I'll get you in, I swear. Thank you. Page is standing out. Does that force Nadi out? At defensive end, you got JJ, you got Will, you got Clemens, you got Barron. Weaver make it? I don't know. There's a lot of questions with who's going to be at the end of this roster on the defensive line. But I think with the scheme and what they want to do, they're okay. Because we didn't go and draft a defensive tackle at all. So I think we're going to just go with it and maybe add down the road. I think they're going to believe in their ability to draft. If Page can make the team, you got Taylor, you got Quinnen, you got 3 young guys who can be locked in for a while. And then you got defensive ends. You got Barron, McDonald, JJ, who could all be locked in for a while as well. We know JJ's at least here through next year. Tom Ace, what would the absolute bare minimum of production would Brees to get an extension here? $1,400 rushing, double-digit rushing touchdowns. 2,000 total yards, just carrying this team to victory, being the reason that we win games, breaking late runs, like an MVP caliber player, in my opinion. David D, were you surprised by any of the Jets' first depth chart decisions that came out earlier today? No, I know Jermaine Johnson can't be there. So Clemens being listed as the starting DN does kind of upset me, but I get it. Other than that, no. David agreeing, saying Yak is a huge part of the Lions offense, and you must block effectively. Another reason why Lazard is still here. Jets Worldwide, if we pick up another receiver, do you think we get a possession receiver or a speedster? I think you're going to need another possession receiver. You're going to need another guy on the other side of the field that might draw away from Garrett and help open up Mason Taylor up the middle. Because right now you don't really have anyone that scares you. Rick Kent laughed when he saw Ruckert. Yeah, but a lot of coaches do this, Rick. They don't reward the rookies that aren't round 1 rookies right away. If I remember correctly, I don't think Sauce was starting corner on the first depth chart. And it's just a thing coaches do with the rookies. They make you earn it. There's a lot of times where rookie quarterbacks aren't announced the starter immediately. Even if they're drafted highly, they kind of let training camp run a little bit. But I'm pretty sure that we're all gonna know he's tight end 1. Ricky, what's up, man? Thank you for that. I was just trying to get through some stuff. And
all good,
I couldn't think of his name. I'm thinking Bob Papa for some reason, and I'm thinking all these different names. And how are you doing, buddy?
If have mentioned it like 2 days ago, it probably wouldn't have been on the top of my mind either. So, um,
Uh,
I don't think there
Ricky,
were really any.
I'm gonna throw you a question. We got something going on at the house tonight. I gotta take care of something. I'm gonna throw you a
Okay.
question, all right? And you got your own YouTube show. You're able to talk and fill some time. I need a favor. Fill some time here for me. Uh, Give me some players that you see that can stand out, possibly make this roster, or some players that you could see falling off. Ladies and gentlemen, Ricky New York filling in for Nick Shine. I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Right on. As far as players that are going to catch on, looking at the initial depth chart, I was pleased to see where Tyler Johnson is. It seems like so far, at least in camp, he's been getting open almost at will. I think he's going to be a lot bigger contributor for us than maybe a lot of people expect. I think there's going to be several young guys that are going to really step up and surprise us. Keeping in that same room, a guy that I can see dropping off of this roster is going to be Xavier Gibson. I noticed how he's a little bit further back on the depth chart. He's banged up right now too. Unless I'm mistaken, they had Nguanu ahead of him listed as on the return jobs for special teams. So Xavier Gibson, I can see dropping off the team. Let me see. As far as other young guys, it'll be curious to see where our late round draft picks end up. If Francisco, the linebacker kid, can step up and maybe be a depth piece. Tyler Barron, can he step up and be, more depth at defensive end, as we were just talking about that earlier? Now, at the time of the draft, when we drafted those guys, I said, like literally on numerous different shows, with Tyler Barron, we got our JFM replacement at the very end of the draft. You can't really be upset with that. And nobody was saying it then, but in the last week, I've heard, Joe Blewett, Faria, I've heard like 3 or 4 different guys say that Tyler Barron could end up being our JFM replacement. So it's nice to hear that. A little bit of vindication for one of my takes. But right now, I would say the guy that I'm really looking forward to step forward is going to be Tyler Johnson. Like I said, trying to think of who else could get dropped off the team. Donovan Edwards, I do not think is going to make the team. I know a lot of people have talked to him, but we've got our top 3 guys at the running back position. I do believe we're going to carry 4, but I think it's going to be Nguanu, the kick returner kid, that's going to be the 4th running back, and not Edwards. He could be a good stash for the practice squad, but I do not see him making the team. Zach Kuntz is gone. Like he's gone. All that is at this point is a formality. There's absolutely no way he's making this team. If Stone Smart can improve his blocking, I could actually see him surpassing Ruckert. I don't think it's going to get Ruckert cut. I think he'll still be on the team, but Smart has been good in the passing game, and if he can improve his blocking, I can see him, surpassing Ruckert. David's saying Christian. Are you talking about Christian Wilkins? I don't know. That's such a strange situation there. And I'm sure that Muji and Glenn, I'm sure the Jets have done their due diligence there, but I don't see us going out and signing Smooch Wilkins to the team. I just don't see that happening. Regardless of what all's went on, he's probably going to want a pretty hefty payday, and I don't think they're going to invest that kind of free agent money. Now, that being said, You know, yeah, I know everybody keeps talking about the defensive tackle next to Quinnen, but I think Cowart has pretty much solidified him in that position. I would be more worried about defensive end, like Nick mentioned. If we were to add any other players, which I do think we will, it's not going to be some big name player that we're going to trade assets for and have to give a new contract and everything else. I think when we do add players, it's going to be when other teams cut down to their 53-man rosters. There's going to be some good players that get let go. And at that point, if our guys haven't stepped up and the coaches aren't happy with them, I could see them adding somebody else, whether it be a defensive end or a receiver. People have said Roman Wilson may end up being out in Pittsburgh. I liked him coming out in the draft. He could be like an interesting slot option for us. You got like Jahan Dotson, that's the number 3 in Philly. Could end up becoming available. There'll be other guys that could be cap cuts. So it's kind of up in the air with that. We'll have to wait and see exactly who does hit the open market. But I think if we're going to add a player at all, I think that's the direction that we would go. So what about you guys in the chat? Is there anybody in particular on the roster right now that you're curious about? Whether you think, they are going to make the team or you don't want to see them make the team. Either way, throw up some names and I'll try to address those.
Thank you, Ricky. Ricky, can you hear me? Ricky, can you hear me?
Okay, at any rate, I get, for some reason, I got a wicked delay between my StreamYard and my YouTube.
Yeah.
Not sure what's going on with that.
Jets are back, baby. So's Ricky's Wi-Fi.
Yeah, apparently. You know what? I think I just got too many things open at the moment.
Yeah, no, close that other shit down, man. Thank you for covering. We're getting a new
Not
door,
a problem.
and they're trying to put a new door in right now. So, sorry. I said if you need me, give me a holler, and trying to help out with that. So, thank you for your patience, everybody. Thank you to Ricky in New York for covering. If you haven't already, subscribe to his channel. I'll pull that right now.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, no worries, man. Thank you. You called in at a great time, buddy.
Right on. Well, glad to help out. Anytime you need me, I'm always here.
Hell yeah. I just posted Ricky's YouTube page in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't already, do yourself a favor. Go over, subscribe to his channel. Also, listen to Oscar. Never thought I'd say those words. Welcome back, Oscar. Hit the like button. Well, Clancy, we got to do it when people are available, man. Everyone's got different schedules.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I said, I'll touch base with you, and maybe if there's a weekend like this where you got opportunity to do like an 8:00 show, we can link up and get something together, because I'd absolutely love to have you on the show.
Yeah, man.
It's just a timing thing for the most part, because you're either in the morning or late at night, which, oh man, I'm so glad you're doing a show tonight. Because like yesterday, I was thinking to myself, that's awesome. Nick's doing a morning show. I'm always up in the morning. I always watch the shows right before I go to sleep. But being my day off, I actually ended up slept through all the morning shows, didn't wake up until like 2 p.m. And then last night I was all pumped and ready for a show. And I was like, oh, that's right, he did a show this morning. There isn't going to be one. Damn. And so, like, I ended up with nothing to do last night, but that's all good. We can make up for it tonight.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I get it, man. You work a lot of long hours and some crazy weather. A couple of things I want to go through here. Samini dropped his article today also. As you see, folks, it's Jet season. There's production, there's segments, it's more Jets talk. That's what you're going to get here on the Sunday night show. I appreciate everyone for watching and tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button. Congratulations to Eli for winning a Jets jersey. Waiting for him to reach out to me and let me know which jersey he wants. Oh, Ricky Bomb. Maybe he'll come back in a minute. Congratulations again to Eli. So far for next week, we got Tommy, we got Kevin Tattoos in for 6. We'll do a jersey raffle every Sunday night here, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, getting tweets, updates. Nick's at the Little Wayne concert, so I told him text me every once in a while, let me know he's okay. It's his first time going out to something without like me or his mom or an adult. So baby boy is growing up. Sad shit, man. Sad. It's beautiful but sad simultaneously.
No, you're not telling me anything I don't know. I went through like that whole, empty nest type thing when my daughter moved out, the first time around. And was worried and talked to a buddy of mine who's a parent. His daughter's a couple of years older than mine. And he was like, dude, are you kidding me? He was like, your daughter's got a good job. She's pursuing a career. She's, putting herself through college. He was like, your kid is all squared away. I don't know what the hell you're worried about.
Yeah.
And after him putting it to me like that, I was like, yeah, you know what? Well, other kids, were her age, were popping out babies and going through all kinds of stuff. Meanwhile, she was hard on the career path and doing her thing. So yeah, but very fortunate. Don't know how she turned out so well with me for an example, but knock on wood.
Well, yeah, it's first time going to a concert. Yeah, like if he goes to a Jets game or a Yankee game, he's been with me or his mother. Like this is his first time like going out to like a big event with friends. His girlfriend drives, so he went with his girlfriend and her stepsister. So yeah, this is the first time going out to. I'm not out to the mall or out to a friend's house to hang out, but to his first event without a parent. Yeah, at 16.
Concert, right on.
Yeah, I don't know why that's so crazy. So getting into the Rich Cimini article today, Ricky, and you're welcome to hang out. Thank you again for covering. Talks about Will McDonald. I always wanted to sack Aaron Rodgers from a little kid. How do you not love that? Like I'm predicting McDonald goes off for 2.5 in week 1. If Rodgers holds the ball, Will McDonald is showing he can get home. Justin Fields is mobile, and he's getting home on Justin Fields, right? So Rodgers is not mobile. If the Jets come out with a scheme that's close to the line, cover the tight end, because we know Roger loves those little 3-yard quick passes to the tight end to get the ball out of his hands. We saw what Rodgers likes to do in an offense last year. We could take that away. If we could take that away and we're sending pressure and we can free up Will McDonald, that's really something we need to do. If we don't know what JJ's going to be, right? But you got to come out with this scheme where you want a speed rusher tracking Aaron Rodgers down time and time again. And we know McDonald can get home, and we know Rodgers can't escape it. And if we're blitzing guys up the middle and we're sending that pressure with Quincy and Sherwood, that's going to be you always protect the middle first, right? You never want that guy coming straight up the middle at your quarterback full speed ahead. So if we can get blitzes where we overload one side and create where Will McDonald is the free rusher off the edge, holy shit, that's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a lot of sacks in that game. And, I don't know if it's that we've seen what Rodgers likes to do, or did we see what Rodgers is still physically capable of doing? Might be a different way to word that. But dude, I absolutely love that quote from McDonald. That's probably the best thing I've heard somebody say about a sack, since Sean Ellis said he always wanted to sack Peyton because he wasn't allowed to touch him at Tennessee.
Yeah, true. More on McDonald. Let me rephrase that. He wrote when McDonald reaches 10 sacks, he will be the first Jets player since who to get double-digit sacks in back-to-back seasons. Now, Ricky, I'm going to throw this out to the chat. The first person to get this gets a raffle entry in next week's jersey. We'll do some trivia throughout the week, random pop-up stuff. Who was the last Jet to get double-digit sacks in back-to-back seasons? The winner, you get a raffle entry for next week. It was not John Abraham. You get one guess per person. It was not John Abraham. It was not Muhammad Wilkerson. Good evening, Mr. Gorilla Salad. I hope you're having a nice time. Jay Quest, it was Sean Ellis. Correct. 2003 and 2004. So, Jay Quest, congratulations. Samini goes on to say, it's hard to believe it's been that long. Once upon a time, this was a franchise known for its fierce pass rush. See the New York Jets Stock Exchange circa 1982. All right, now, Ricky, I'm going to start this off. I'm going to throw it to you. Bridging the generation gap. Let's take a ride in the time machine, Samini says. Nick Folk played with star pass rusher Jason Taylor, who's now in the Hall of Fame. Now, a generation later, 15 years later, he's playing with his son, Mason Taylor. Folk today, number 1 on the depth chart. Give me your thoughts on Folk and just the whole playing with the father and then the son with how long he's been around in the league.
That's wild. It's crazy to me sometimes, where I think about certain Jets era players I loved them, and it's like, wow, was it really that long ago? But listen, I'm really happy to have Folk here. I was not real comfortable with the kicking situation, the way it was looking going into the year, but now having not only an experienced veteran, but one who's that good. I mean, he missed one all of last year. That's phenomenal. Being that we had a guy that missed a half a dozen in 2 games and probably cost us a couple of games. Like, dude, you got to have a good kicker, and that's the thing is I believe we're going to win games this year, but we're going to need a good kicker because I don't think we're blowing anybody out. I think we're going to be in a lot of close games this year. So that makes me sleep a lot easier knowing we have a good kicker here. And, as far as like the father said, man, I'll tell you what, it was really tough for me to root for Jason Taylor when he came here because I hated him so much before that. And, you know what, Mason Taylor, I guess I'll give your old man a pass since you're on the team now.
He did do the Jet chant. When Mason got drafted, he did lead the video and say, it's been a long time since I've done this. And then he led the Jet chant. So,
yeah,
I love that.
So I'll go ahead and give Mason Taylor's dad a pass. However, his uncle, I still fucking hate.
But how cool is it going to be for us to kind of stick the knife in real slow when the Jets play the Dolphins and they're rooting for the Jets?
Yeah, I know.
Family first, man. It's cool. I worked there. I played there. But this is my nephew. This is my son. We're now rooting for him.
Yeah, if there's a silver lining to that, it's the fact that Zach Thomas is probably going to have to sit there every Sunday and watch Jets games, even though he probably doesn't want to. So nice. There's some karma.
I love it.
Awesome.
And I love that Taylor had to come here to win a playoff game because he couldn't do it in Miami. That's always fun.
Well,
right.
You know what? In during this, time that we haven't been back to the playoffs, like I said earlier, Belichick, he took Weiss and Romeo Crennel and all those guys from the Jets to build his dynasty there. The only time another team in our division won our division during that span, the Dolphins won it once, and they needed a Jet quarterback to do it. So without us, would anybody else have ever won the division? And that's why Buffalo can't get over the hump. They just simply don't have enough former Jets.
That's it. Good. Also, fuck them. What next trivia question here, ladies and gentlemen, for a chance in the jersey raffle for next Sunday night. Since releasing Nick Folk after the 2016 season, the Jets have used how many kickers in a regular season game? You get one guess each. How many kickers have the Jets used since releasing Nick Folk? 8 seasons. How many kickers have we used? It is not 7. It is not 12. I wish it was 69. It is not 6, 8.
9.
It's not 9. It is not 16. It is not 17.
13.
One guess each, ladies and gentlemen. One guess each.
I already made my guess.
Yep. It is not 17, 11, 9, 5, or 12. Adirondacks, the last one I have. It is not 18. Dave Brigger with too many.
Dave Brigger's the winner.
I'm sure it's not 69. It is not 19. It is not 34. It is not 14. You guys are dancing right around it. Remember, one guess each. If you've guessed it already and you're the one to get it, it will not count. It is not 2. It is not 23. It is 15.
Oh, wow.
It is 15. Samini doesn't list them, but the Jets have gone through 15 kickers in the regular season, including 5 in 2024 alone. So, Clancy, congratulations. Yeah, that was the hint, Eli. When you said 14, I was like, you're dancing right around it. 14, 16, everything came in but 15. Next up in Samini's article, easy on the sauce. The coaches are working with wide receiver Garrett Wilson to fine-tune his route running. Wilson is a field player, according to offensive coordinator Tanner Engstrand. He likes to ad-lib based on what he sees. That used to irk Rodgers, who wanted his receivers to be precise and follow the script. At the same time, Wilson's feel sometimes allows him to make special plays. Garrett at times will have a little bit of, I don't know, call it sauce to the routes at times, Engstrand said. We try to keep that under control where it's beneficial to us. So a little less freelance, a little more precision. Listen, Jerry Rice's entire career was based off precision and route running. So as much as Garrett thinks that he can adapt, there's been a pretty good line of success of guys who run the right route and be in the right spot at the right time, because that's where the quarterback expects you to be. So give me your thoughts on that, Ricky.
You know what? That can certainly not hurt. And, Garrett's been phenomenal. I mean, his first 3 years, and I had this argument with somebody else, and where the guy was trying to say that he didn't think Garrett was a top 5 wide receiver and shouldn't be paid as such, this and that. And I was like, well, if you're looking at, stats from last year, receiving yards, receiving touchdowns, maybe you can put him not in that top 5. But in NFL history, there's only 5 guys that started their careers, with 3,000 yard seasons. And he's one of them. So how can you not say he's top 5? And doing it with the kind of poor quarterback play that he's had at times just makes it that much more remarkable. But as good as he's been, If they can, fine tune his route running and get him even more precise and elevate his game even more, hell yeah. That excites me. Because as good as some of our guys have been, like Sauce and Garrett, I don't know that they were developed under the last regime to the way they could have been, to their full potential. So I'm eager to see a lot of our guys, take a next step and take their ability to that next level. And he's definitely, absolutely one of them.
I'm sure I will not be the first person to say these words. Clancy, you talk too much. I missed your first guess. So now, in the case of integrity, I got to take you off the wheel. Damn you, Clancy. Rick Kent, have a good night, my friend. Enjoy the film. Thank you for the memberships. And you're a nice guy. Thank you for your support, Clancy. You're always so positive and charming.
So, do you think we see the starters at all on Saturday night?
Yeah. Yes.
Like a series or something in the beginning?
I would go a little more.
Really?
I would go a little more. It's the preseason. It's the preseason. You gotta. You didn't look good this week in your green and white. I would do it more. And then if you look good, I would go at least 2 drives each. You want Fields to get in some sort of a rhythm. You want him to get in the game, get a feel for it, right? What's the point of going in? I would give the starters the first quarter. Give them the first quarter. If that's 2 drives, it's 2 drives. If it's one great drive with a touchdown, you pull them. But I would say we're going in planning on playing the starters for the first quarter. If the defense comes out, gets a pick 6, you're done. You get 3rd and 8, you get a sack, you get them off the field, you're done. I'm sure the coaches will talk and say how long you're going to play yours. This is what we're thinking with ours. Come to an agreement because you want ones versus ones. I hate to have ones versus twos where a team you got players playing to make a roster and they might go a little bit more. That would be me. I would say let's put the starters in for the first quarter. Next week, you got the Giants back-to-back on the 12th and 13th with the joint scrimmage, joint practices, whatever they're called. And I would expect at least the first half next week, if not more. Aaron Glenn said they're going to play. He said the starters are going to play, right? If we're tackling in practice and taking the chance of getting an injury there, we're going to play and we're going to tackle and we're going to hit for real in a preseason game if we're taking that chance during the week, right?
Yeah, I would absolutely think so. I think, right from the beginning, I figured we would probably see the starters more than we have in years past, just because of the style that Glenn coaches. I got to bring this up real quick. I don't know why it just kind of popped into my head, and it's not necessarily Jets news so much, but dude, I've seen so many people in the comment section saying that, oh, Justin Fields can't throw the ball. Dude, Justin Fields has got an arm on him. Did you see the pictures or the video of Caleb Williams trying to throw the ball through the holes in the net at practice?
Yeah.
And he couldn't get a single one?
The nail polish weights your hand and throws off your accuracy. So he's got to stop using the nail polish.
Yeah,
that's the issue. Like, you can't hit a target if your hand is weighted differently.
Yeah, I don't know. I watched that and I was like, oh man,
Yeah, listen, you were watching the show last year. I was huge on saying Jaden Daniels is QB1. There's no reason I would ever take Caleb Williams. I didn't like the way he held the ball at USC. He was never asked to read, react, release on time. It's not looked good. And last year, he held the ball too long. Everything that I said. Now, can he progress year 2? Yes. Can better coaching help him? Yes. But off the bat, it looks like it was a grand slam with a take for me because Jaden Daniels is clearly one of the better quarterbacks. People are putting him already as a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. They got Burrow, Mahomes, Allen, Jackson, and a lot of people have Jaden Daniels in that top 5 already.
I'm not going to go quite that far. He did have a remarkable rookie year, and hats off to them. You know, they tailored that offense around him, and that's an example of it, you know, working when a team does that. But dude, I was never high on Caleb to begin with. I was with you on that, and yeah, I mean, he can always get better. But the other thing is too is, you know, with both of those guys, like now there's a year of tape on them, so you know they you know, Daniels might not be quite as hot as he was last year because now there is some tape on him. He's not going to catch anybody off guard, but yeah, I mean, I guess it'll be wait and see. But yeah, not looking good at the moment. Looking better for us, I would say, than them.
Jets Life 11. Thanks for chiming in. I think it's crazy people have him top 5. It'll be tough to repeat, but he does have the tools. And more importantly, he's got the coaching. Kingsbury stayed there, and Kingsbury was on fire with him last year. He was making the right calls at the right time, and they were using his legs. There was a 4th and 2 play against Detroit in the playoff game, and they just basically down blocked everybody and had him sprint out against the cornerback in one-on-one, and he gets the first down. You know, when you have a mobile quarterback, you have a whole other section of your playbook that you can use to deceive the defense. And when you got a guy who could run and escape the pocket and get out in space, that's just another level to your offense. And I expect to see some of that this year. Will he be utilized the same way? No, but I'm sure there's some plays where Angstron's going to look at. He was there for that play on 4th and 2 when they did that to the Lions. So a good coordinator will sit there and look at the film and say, oh, they did that against us? All right, we're putting that in for down the road. We're going to use that. Mike LaFleur did that. He had that crazy pass play in Miami that we did with Berrios and Zach. And then other teams were taking that. When was the last time you saw the Jets create something that got taken?
It's probably been a while.
Yeah. So hopefully Angstrom is smart enough to open up his mind and say, listen, we have our scheme, but if I see some shit that works, if I see something Sean McVay puts on film, Kingsbury puts on film, you know, Andy Reid, why can't we incorporate that? So you got to be able to grow. You got to be able to expand. You got to be able to add to the playbook as the season goes on. If you got a quarterback who's running the ball well and you see something on film that Baltimore does with Lamar or Jaden or Josh Allen, you can do that with Justin Fields.
Dude, I'm gonna love seeing like some formations where we got like Brees and Allen in the backfield at the same time, and who's getting the ball? Is it them? Is Fields going to keep it? Like, it's going to be a nightmare for some people to defend us in certain situations. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to having that kind of mobile quarterback for sure.
Yeah, and Jets Worldwide here says Angstrom better scheme guys open. Fields is going to need separation. Tight windows will be tough. Agreed. I do agree with that. But if you can scheme it, play action it, bootleg it, and get him where guys might be chasing from behind, and he can't hit those throws, he's in trouble. He's going to be in big trouble real quick if he can't hit those throws. Also, if you guys haven't, make sure you go over, subscribe to Snowball and Johnny on Jets Worldwide. I just dropped their link in the chat. I know both of them have been traveling. Snowball was in Italy. Johnny's at SummerSlam. So make sure you subscribe to them and show them some love if you haven't already. I appreciate it. You're all nice guys. And if you subbed to Ricky before, thank you. I appreciate that. Ricky,
yes.
Any thoughts in closing that we haven't covered? I know we've been moving fast and furious here, trying to get a lot into 2 hours.
No, you know what? I think we've covered just about everything. Like, I don't think we have any ground that we didn't cover. Pretty thorough job. And you know what? We're only a couple more days away. and the Jets will actually be on the field. We'll be watching football. God, it's been a long wait, but it's finally here. And man, this year feels different. Just the players, the way they're bought in, the coaching, the message, just everything. It feels different. And when I hear guys that have been on the beat forever say it hasn't felt like this since, Parcell days, whatever. When I hear players saying this feels different than before, it gives me hope, gives me optimism that it's going to be different. I really believe it will. In Aaron Glenn's mind, the Jets are still like those late 90s, 2000s Jets, the competitive Jets that I loved. And you know what? That's the mindset we should have. We've got too good of a roster to have things turn out the way they have in recent years for us. And I'm looking forward to finally having a leader that can maximize that roster. So yeah, that would be my final thoughts. I'm just looking forward to the year. I'm so glad that it's finally here.
Yeah, I agree, man. I appreciate you calling in, and thank you for covering me before. You're the man. Ladies
Not
and
a
gentlemen,
problem, man. Have a good night, everybody in the chat. Have a good night, and go Jets.
hell yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Ricky New York. Let's see. We got about 10 minutes left. We'll take some more questions if you guys got questions. If not, we'll wrap it up early tonight. I will be on tomorrow morning. The Jets have practice tomorrow, so I will be on at 9 a.m. We'll get an hour in before Jake goes on at 10. We'll cover some news that's going on at camp, stories that come out of there. Malik Sealy, 51. Who is wide receiver 2? Josh Reynolds. It's not sexy. It's that's what it is, though. I think you'll see Lazard used inside more to block. I think there'll be a rotation. I think there will be. It'll depend on the play call and what they want to do on it. There's times where if there's 3 receivers on the field, you might have Reynolds, Arian Smith, and Wilson. There might be times if we're going to run the ball, you give Wilson a breather if you made a big play, and you go Reynolds, Lazard, maybe Corley. There might be a speed package where you go Reynolds, Arian Smith, Wilson, and then someone else. I also expect to see Brees flexed out quite often and get him in mismatches against linebackers or safeties. So it's not a great group after Garrett, but it's also year one, right? Something I constantly say is if Justin Fields elevates and has that Geno Smith, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield season where everything clicks, you don't need to go draft a quarterback next year. Then you go draft a big-time weapon to add to Garrett Wilson, and then you draft a guard to replace either Simpson or AVT, whoever you let go. But if you got to go get a quarterback, and if you have to use assets to move up to get a quarterback because you win 6, 7, 8 games, but Fields isn't the guy long-term, now you're getting a lesser weapon. But my biggest thing is, as much as we are a run-first offense now, we don't have to be that way in year 2 or 3. There can be an evolution to this. We can add to the weapons. We know we got the line. We know we got the running backs. We know we got a young tight end. You keep building the line. You add. I don't think you're going to give Simpson and AVT contracts, but you got to add to this offense. Some teams have 3, 4 wide receivers deep. We have 1. And I would bet the under on scoring 10 points a game if Garrett Wilson gets out. If Garrett Wilson has to miss time, this is not going to be very pretty. Over. I say 15. I said 15 on a Sunday show, and the next morning it was revealed that McDonald gained 15 pounds of muscle. So I said he's going to have 15. And then I think I changed it to 17, 1 a game. So I'm over. I think Will McDonald in this scheme is going to be really, really special. I think you can see a Dwight Freeney type, a Von Miller type, a guy who's not the biggest, he's not the strongest, but he just finds a way to get to the quarterback. And if we're blitzing up the middle, that's going to open him up to really do some damage, man. I think his talent combined with the scheme, we're going to see somebody who has everything to be a special player in this league. And this is the year to do it, man. This is the year to break out, take the pressure off JJ, allow him to progress and come back. And then if you lock JJ up long term, you got two good young pass rushers locked in. I know JJ and Will are both a little bit older. It's not like they're 23 years old, 24, like Sauce and Garrett are. But still, these are guys that you want to lock in. And if McDonald goes to that level, he's up for a contract this offseason. Yeah, I'm huge on Will McDonald. I've been huge on Will McDonald. And I know Buffalo Jet fan is the number one fan of Will McDonald. And he's a good friend. And we talk privately all the time. I'm buying in, man. I think his skill set transitions really well to the NFL. And at Iowa State, they had him playing inside over the guard at times because how strong he was for a smaller guy. But I think he's really coming into his own. And I think it's a guy. Yeah. I mean, those guys weren't the biggest guys, right? But they found ways to get home. They were in really good schemes. I know what you meant. I know what you meant, Clancy. You know, if he can get to that 16, let's say between 14 and 17 and do it multiple years in a row, he's at that level, right? If he can be that guy that on 3rd and 7, you know we got to get home, you know we got to end the drive, and he gets there, he's there, right? He's at that level. Those were guys that when the game was on the line, they found a way to make a play, right? Do it. I would love it. I as a fan at a home game, there's nothing more that I loved when we were good in 09 and 10 than having a lead late in the game, the defense on the field, and the crowd whipping up into a frenzy to help close out the game. Will McDonald can be a closer. Will McDonald can get home. Will McDonald can be a game wrecker. Will McDonald's a guy that you scheme around to free up. We know Jermaine's a grinder. Jermaine's different. He's run support. He can get to the quarterback. But Will McDonald has that skill set to really make a fucking difference, man. And that's something we need. We got the coverage on the back end. If we're playing more man and we're playing press and receivers aren't getting open, guess what? Quinnen, Will, JJ are going to fucking eat. And I love that Will's on the side with normally the lesser pass blocking of a tackle. Not many teams have an elite right tackle. Tristan Wirfs is on the right side. Penny Sewell's on the right side. There are some teams that have elite. Detroit's not on our schedule this year. Wirfs might not even be ready for week 3. Yeah. I mean, Freeney was built like, Thor. Wasn't the biggest guy, but he was a powerhouse too, I just really like him. Yeah. Afram with a great take. I love this. I've just mentioned this a couple weeks ago. Where's all the fans that were going ballistic because the Patriots fucked us by giving or the Steelers fucked us by giving no, I said it right. The Patriots fucked us by trading to the Steelers to give them Broderick Jones. Well, you know what? Week 1, I wouldn't want Broderick Jones. I want Will McDonald. That matchup, I want Will McDonald dogging Broderick Jones time and time again. And if Broderick Jones was a Jet, the way he played last year, we would have booed him out of town already. Again, overreactive, irrational, crybaby takes on Jets Twitter. That's why you're the man, Mace. That's why you're the man. What if it's the move that blessed the Jets? And we saw the Jets one Jets drive. Wasn't even as Project Jones wasn't even mentioned. It was the tight end Michael Mayer. I remember Joe Douglas mentioned 3 names. I know that he said Gibbs was going to be our guy. They were going to take Gibbs. Imagine that backfield to Brees Hall and Gibbs. I was doing the draft show on this channel, and Italy Jet fan was on with me. My buddy Gino, he was on with me. And when they announced it, and I'm not going to lie, I had Bleacher Report up so I could see who came in before it was announced. And I sat there silent for about 15 seconds. And we're both kind of like making faces. And you guys know me by now. I try to find a positive to put out there. I don't want to do the clickbait, overreaction, look at me screaming. So I find something positive to say. And I sit there and I go, well, let me start off with this. I love McDonald's. It's the only thing positive I had to say, Clance, or Snowball, because I had nothing. All of the projections, all of the mocks, nobody had Will McDonald as the pick. None of us, none of the experts, nobody had Will McDonald. You know, as we started seeing the film, you could see that there's some talent there. As they broke it down, I remember, what's his name? Oh my God. I can't think of his name. He's one of my favorite guys. Brian Baldinger. He did a breakdown of Will McDonald and how he was utilized out of position. They were playing him as a 2 technique and a 3 technique, and he was lining up between the guard and tackle at times. And he goes, that's not this guy's game. This guy's game is speed, but he wasn't asked to do that as much. So the skill set is there to transition to an NFL pass rusher, even though he wasn't asked to do that at Iowa State. David, I watched parts of that 2023 draft show. Oh, thanks, David. Thank you, man. That's awesome. I still stand on JSN should have been the pick there. It's more of a roster construction thing based on where they were at the time. Yeah, I get it. A lot of people love him. Let me go back and look at that draft. Let me take a look. I think the guy that I wanted was the guy, defensive tackle, that went to Tampa Bay. Kalijah Cansey. That's the guy that I wanted to play next to Quinnen. I wanted another interior lineman. Guys that I liked in that draft were Dalton Kincaid. Kalijah Cansey was number 1. And I really liked Nolan Smith. I'm a Georgia guy. That's speed. I was shocked that Nolan Smith went that late, but in that draft, Nolan Smith, Kalijah Cansey, Dalton Kincaid were like the guys that I was saying. But I mean, you look at Will McDonald, 10.5 sacks last year. 13.5 in 2 years. I think he surpasses that this year. But ladies and gentlemen, we're winding down to the end of the show. Start dropping your what did we learns, and we'll bring on our last guest. It's always interesting when we have this guy. I guess he wasn't ready. Yeah, I wonder how that would come out. I'm pretty sure those are the guys that I'm pretty sure those were my guys in that draft. I obviously hope that Jalen Carter fell to us, but Nolan Smith was a dude that I loved because I thought we could use him with his speed like a Parsons. Mess. No, he hasn't called in. I think he went out to see a movie. And if he went out to see a movie, he is all over the internet discussing, dissecting, and breaking that film down. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're here, make sure you hit the like button. If you have subscribed to the show tonight, thank you. I appreciate you. We're up a couple more subs tonight. You guys are the best. We'll be doing a show tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., Jets Training Camp Daily. I'll be here live as all the tweets and all the info come in from camp to discuss. Yeah, no, I really thought we could get creative with Nolan Smith and use him like a Micah Parsons. His speed, I fucking loved out of Georgia. Love that. Of course, I wanted Jalen Carter. That didn't happen. He went at 9. We picked at 15 that year. Gibbs went 12. That was somebody Douglas said that they would have taken. But Broderick Jones has not looked good. And I am very happy Jermaine and Will could be going up against Broderick Jones. That's a matchup you want to exploit. Nobody wants Broderick Jones in that matchup. Steelers fans will not want Broderick Jones in that matchup. Bill Belichick will be furious that the Steelers have Broderick Jones in that matchup. Fuck Broderick Jones. Daniel, he did. He did. I mean, he's responsible for the core of this team. Michael Carter, Sauce, brought in Quincy, drafted Sherwood as a transitional player from safety to linebacker. Will McDonald, Jermaine, Leonard Taylor III might have a big role as a pass rusher this year. Tittman, AVT, Olu, Garrett, Brees, Ruckert. He definitely, but when you miss on the head coach and you miss on the quarterback, you're gonna get fired. You're gonna. I'm of the mindset with Saleh, and I said this. I thought Saleh was gonna get fired. I actually said it before the Minnesota game last year. If we lose this game, I could see him getting fired. I got laughed at, and then he got fired. But I stood on this 9 toes down, saying, if the seat was that hot that you get fired after 5 games, you should have never entered the season as a coach. If you're in an all-in season, you want a guy that you believe can get you there. If you fire a guy at 2-3, he should have never been your guy to begin with. Yeah, Afro, that's a good point. It's on the coaching staff as well. I just don't think it wasn't right for everyone. Douglas had big misses. Head coach, quarterback. You can't miss on those. He got rid of Darnold to draft Zach, and it missed. You got to pay for that. Do I think Joe Douglas is a quality GM? Yes. Do I think Joe Douglas failed to build a winner? Yes. Do I think Joe Douglas failed on the head coach? Yes. Do I think Joe Douglas failed with the quarterback? Yes. You don't win. You don't get a quarterback. You don't get a coach. You don't just get the showing up and doing your job as a general manager. Like Joe Douglas, never did anything to embarrass the organization, added a lot of good pieces to this team, but over 6 seasons and 5 drafts wasn't enough. So I understand why everyone's gone. It was called for. You went all in. You probably convinced Woody it was an all-in season because you knew you had to go all in to try to keep your job and get an extension, and it bombed. Listen, he'll do well. I think Joe Douglas is a very good evaluator of talent everywhere but quarterback. I do. If you have a team with a quarterback, I'd hire Joe Douglas tomorrow. There's 70 of you watching right now. Make sure you hit the like button. If you got any questions with 70 of you watching, I'll keep going. If you got Jets questions, fire them off. Ricky says, I learned me and Nick are on the same page. Charles stole the show at another meetup. Nick has a scary amount of faith in me, but not how to pin the call-in link. I did pin the call-in link. Yeah. I get it. I have had a buddy busting my nuts, and through this found a bit of trivia for you. You want? I think you have my number. You want to text me the trivia? I think you got my number because we've talked before. Yeah, shoot me the trivia. Paganardi, I learned Jersey has guys working at 9 p.m. doing things they do in Florida at 9 a.m. My head coach is one of us, and that means a lot. Charles wears chicken soup better than most. Chef Kev is a goat. Absolutely. Agreed. Dixon, how many old linemen do we keep on this roster? I say 9. And the reason I say 9 is because Myers can be your backup center and Tittman can be your third guard. So it saves you a spot with those guys and the flexibility. I think you get Chimu, you get Warren, and I don't think Mitchell makes it. I'd be surprised. I learned Nick is huge Doors fan. Wild one. Are we going to be able to run versus Pitt? I think so. I think you're going to see bootlegs. I think Fields' legs. We beat Pittsburgh. It's going to be because Fields has a great day running. And then as they start to adjust and adapt and account for that, that's when you'll see passes, and that's when you'll see some potential for big plays. But I believe they're going to try to get the run game going early, punt the ball, play defense, Rodgers did not start off well with us last year. I don't expect him going into a new offense that he's never had to come out hot in week one. This is why I want to play them week one. I want that matchup in week one. I want to exploit that. So I'm very happy that we have this matchup week one. I would not want to play Rodgers week 11 after they have a rhythm and they have everything down. Talk a lot, you get dry lips. Maze, I learned that Nick is getting a door installed at 9. It may show the reasoning that his electrical outlets are upside down. Listen, man, it's a rental. I don't own the house. Oh, you didn't learn. I'm sorry, Ricky. I misread that. Need to watch the Ravens Steelers playoff game. Ravens ran all over them. You can. If you got a bully offensive line, you can run. And how do you do that? You run right at Watt. You don't want Watt tracking plays down from behind. You run at him. Membu, got to have a good game. 5 weeks from tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be 1-0. There's no doubt in my mind we'll be 1-0. I appreciate all of you watching. You want to try yet? Are you here? Try, folks. Oh, it's a tease in the business, Oscar. That's a tease. But I think we can do some things to exploit the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think that we can do some things that they're going to have some issues with. Are we going to have some issues with them? Yeah. You want to have a scheme where you don't want Fields sitting in the pocket. You don't want them throwing their confusing blitz at Fields. You want to get the run game going. You want to get RPOs. You want to get Fields out of the pocket where you can run away and turn it upfield if need to be, or hit guys who are open. You've got to stop the run of Pittsburgh because you want to have Rodgers in 3rd and 8 or longer. You want him in a pocket where a quick little dump to the tight end is not good enough to get a first down. Something the New York Jets have to do well is tackle. They're going to dump it off to Freiermuth. They're going to throw swing passes to Warren, the speedy runner. You got to be able to tackle out in the open field. Sherwood and Quincy got to have big games. Got to. Expect over 20 tackles from each of them, or total, I should say. And Will McDonald's going to eat. 2.5 sacks for Will week 1. I know Boomtown's noted it. Clancy is right. Yeah. Embolette, yes. Will, Quinnen, get the ball out. Need a short field. Need some easy points. Need to take the stress off of the offense. 100% guaranteed. Absolutely, we need that. We can't be playing a field position game looking for 75, 80-yard drives time and time again. I don't think we're going to be there week 1. But if you can have a 35-yard drive because you got a turnover, if you get a pick six, throw one of these quick bubble screens, Rodgers throws it too hard, the ball deflects, we walk one in, mark it down. Yeah, but if you had a bet, pick one of them. Pick one of them. Rodgers was washed, and we thought he still had us. Yeah, that's the way it is. Steelers fans are arrogant, right? That's why I don't want to go to the game. I don't want to be around those people. I don't want to go to the Dallas game. I don't want to go to the Steelers game. I don't want to be there with them. There's an arrogance, even though they haven't been good in a really long time. They have an arrogance and a cockiness. You know what? I take your terrible talent, your terrible team, and go home to your terrible looking wife and shut the fuck up. Get out of our stadium. I can't stand them. I don't want to be there with them. But they're arrogant and they think, oh, it's just the Jets. They'll be great. Yeah, with Arthur Smith, stop it. Yeah, exactly. And that's why I would rather take a sack than throw an interception downfield at times. I want to play field position, and hopefully our defense can be opportunistic and take advantage of it. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you all for watching. 69 of you watching right now. Oh, 68. You guys are the best. If you missed the beginning of the show, had Antwan Staley on from the Daily News. About a 20-minute interview with him. Ricky New York covered. I reviewed some of the top five, my top five projections for pass catchers this year for the Jets. We took some questions from the chat. You guys are fantastic. I will be back on 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. So we'll have some reports of what's going on from camp. But ladies and gentlemen, if you are a Shiner, if you are, actually, yeah, let's do this real quick. I'll give back for everyone who gifted earlier. Mine went to Barbarossa. Now, if you're watching and you missed it earlier, we got two things going on here on this channel. Full-size, authentic Darrelle Revis helmet with the Revis Island inscription. That will be going out August 31st. All the entries that we have throughout the month will be put into that. Okay? But we also have a weekly jersey raffle that will be given out every Sunday night. So, went with a big prize. And ladies and gentlemen, Weed the People. Mr. Weed gifted to Yeetus Deletus. Thank you, Mr. Weed. You're a nice guy. And just to show my love and appreciation to everyone here, I'm going to gift another one to thank you guys. But in the meantime, if you are a Shiner and you have access to the emojis, it's time to make it rain and summons Boomtown to drop his What Did We Learn? Mine went to Donovan Coleman. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's drop that Boomtown emoji and show Boom how much we love him and all the hard work that he does putting into this channel. And Mr. Boom, if you would, please drop it like it's hot, sir. And Mr. Weed the People, do you have your new laptop yet? Here we go, folks. Shout out to the greatest note taker in all of the land and the northern land. Oh, I missed one. Boomtown learned Allen is in the 1% of non-open arm shiners. JQuest 57 is a psychopath, but is also a really nice guy in person. Oscar the Grouch is back. Bobby may be a barbecue pit master in his spare time. Or a liar. Bonus, Clancy is overly critical of some 17-year-old social lives. Ricky can hold down a show anytime a host needs to deal with business behind the scenes. Shiners were shy tonight to call in. Double bonus, Twisted has a buddy that busts his nuts. And Twisted never sent the text. Awesome. Thank you, everybody. Dave Briga. Prior to the NFL AFL merger, my area here in Nepo was an ABC Jets affiliate. When the Steelers went into the AFC and started winning, it all changed to the Steelers. Interesting. Oh, give me 1 second. All right, I'm waiting. Twisted is typing right now. Twisted, I got to talk to you. I don't understand that, to put that out there. I don't know. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end the show here like we always do with some fantastic music from the one and the only Blitz BK. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you, everybody who hit the like button. Thank you and welcome to all our new subscribers. You guys are the best. We are at, refreshing, 84 likes. Let's see if we can get to 100. If you haven't hit the like button, already do it. If not, we'll get to it after the fact. Ladies and gentlemen, 5 weeks from tonight, the New York Jets will be 1-0. You know where to be. Sunday nights, 8 o'clock, Shine Time in prime time right here. Thank you, everyone. Spread the word. You got friends who are Jets fans. Tell them to get their ass to this channel. We're going to have a lot of fun this season. Ups and downs through all of it. Come here for logical, rational takes and explanations about what's going on. No over-the-top reactions, no clickbait, just straight football talk. Good night, everybody. And if you have the emoji access as a Shiner, make sure you show some love right now and drop the Blitz BK emoji.
This got me.
Gentry covered the fumble.
Any day, any night, we all shine, bro. First class shine time, the Nick Shine Show. Anytime on YouTube, if you don't know, the Nick Shine Show, the Nick Shine Show. Dim the lights, but it's still bright as Nick time. Day or night, this is his prime, it's Nick Shine. Proud fan, well defined, so get in line. Toe to toe with any show, he only got 9. The best show on YouTube, bro, is easy. We talk Jets all day, please believe me. Subscribe, you just gotta click a family. We not a click in 3D. You can see a beautiful DP. We see through the fake teams and the tea leaves. So we pray for a coach and a QB and hope that we close to the top in the new league. A toast to the host with the most, Nicky. Who, me? Any day, any night, we all shine, bro. First class shine time, the Nick Shine Show. Anytime on YouTube, if you don't know, the Nick Shine Show, the Nick Shine Show.
Fantastic.
Hell yeah. For those of you who are members of the Discord, let's fire up the DP. We'll hang out. We'll talk Jets. I got a fantastic cigar from Martinez Cigars that I'm looking to go enjoy. So give me 10, 15 minutes. I'll be out there. Let's fire it up. And one more from Blitz. God bless everyone. Have a good night. Go Jets. 9 a.m. tomorrow. Right back here.
Good evening, everyone. Normally, this is the part where I go into a monologue about the Jets. I got to address something first. There's been some shit talk out there about this program. Don't talk shit about my family. They're my family.
And this just in, you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah, get ready for this new showdown. I call it the anytime, any day throwdown. Nick Shine, kill these clowns till they make no sound. They lose weight, we feel great when we burn these pounds. We all know that jet green make the earth go round. Another rookie head coach, another first go round. We bleed green, each fiend hope this team win now. And twist dreams in the DP when my beats are found. Shine is unite, knock the lights out of midnight. We go show for show, goon for goon. We can fist fight, I rip mics. Clemens and Williams, all the dislikes. Bunch of Jets rappers out there, they ain't this nice. I did this twice. Got a sick addiction, so the green and white's my my vice. I gave it blood, sweat, and tears, yeah, I paid my price. Many years on the flight, no prescription, but I need a championship in my life, yo.
For as long as I'm alive.